I have been blessed to have succeeded and to be able to meet some of the most successful people on the planet. From Jay-Z to Oprah. From Warren Buffett to Donald Trump. And he's a tripper. And what I've noticed is that very, very successful people have one thing that less than successful people do not have. They're able to do one thing that less than successful people are just not able to do. But very few people follow that. I want to tell you what it is. This may be the first time you will have heard this. What very successful people have the ability to do is to remove toxic people and bloodsuckers from their life. People who drain you of your time, your energy, and your patience. People who drive you crazy. Now this is very easy to say, brothers and sisters. This is extraordinarily difficult to do. Why? Because most of these people are your family. Your significant others and your so-called friends. Do you know what those relationships look like? They look like a bowl of spaghetti. You ever try to unravel a bowl of spaghetti? Can't do it. There's an old saying, if you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it will always be yours. If it doesn't come back, it was never yours to begin with. You ever heard that saying? Well, there's a big but on that. If it sits in your living room, messes up all your stuff, eats all your food, uses your cell phone, takes your money, and doesn't appear to realize that you have set it free, you either fell in love with it, married it, or gave birth to it. There are people that will be in your life throughout your entire life that you simply must bless and release. This is huge. And if you are not able to do this, you will fail. Do you realize that our president had to do this in public? We get a chance to do it in private. If our president had not blessed and released his pastor of 20 years who married him and Michelle and christened both of his children, we would not be calling him President Obama today. There are people in your life that you simply must get out of your life now, or you are not going to make it. Let me say that differently. Don't spend major time with minor people. People going nowhere want you to go nowhere with them. People doing nothing want you to do nothing with them. If you want to change your life, change your relationships. Now, how do I know this to be profoundly true? Because I speak out of my own life. I'm from a family of 11 children, 8 boys and 3 girls. My father came to this country in the early 1900s from Guyana. A beautiful black man about the color of my suit. Yes, he was blue black. Married a fair-skinned sister from Lumpkin, Georgia, Ida Mae Baldwin. And together they moved to Brooklyn, New York, Bed-Stuy. Anybody here from Brooklyn? Brooklyn in the house, we have to say. In fact, when you're from Brooklyn, Stan, the home of Chris Rock, Spike Lee, Biggie Smalls, Jay-Z, and Al Capone. When you're from Brooklyn, you're one of two things. You're either a thug or a gangster. I'm a gangster. But let me give you the definition that Jay-Z gave me of gangster. Intelligence is the new gangster. Decisiveness is the new gangster. Creativity is the new gangster. By any means necessary is the new gangster. Barack Hussein Obama, he's gangster. You ever see him walk up to the podium? Looks like George Jefferson, doesn't he? But better than that. A month ago they came to him and said, "Hey, Mr. President, Osama bin Laden is hiding out in a house in Pakistan. What should we do, Mr. President?" What did the brother say?
Kill him.
That's gangster. You're the new gangsters. Intelligent, creative, brilliant, by any means necessary. So here I am in Bedford-Stuyvesant. I turn 3 years old, my mother becomes mentally ill. She was institutionalized for the balance of her life. My father, who came to this country early 1900s and from Guyana, he couldn't get a good education, get a good job, so he was relegated to driving a New York City cab, and he had to work for 14 hours a day, so he couldn't take care of 11 children. So at 3 years old, I was orphaned. And I stayed in an orphanage from 3 to 5. And because no one would take 11 children, we were broken up into 3s. I then spent the balance of my young life growing up on the mean streets of Bed-Stuy in Brooklyn, New York, in toxic foster homes. That is not an indictment of the foster homes. That's just an indictment of the toxic foster home I was in. When I turned 17, because you age out of foster homes in New York at 17 at that time, there are 2 options. Someone can volunteer to pay your foster parents more money to keep you, or your foster parents invite you to leave. I was invited to leave. I had no place to go but back to the brownstone that my father kept in Bed-Stuy. I'm 17. I'm the youngest in the family. I go back to my brownstone, and there I'm met by 4 older brothers who had already aged out of foster homes. But the difference between them and me is that they were heroin addicts. One was a heroin dealer. If you read my book, Success Runs in Our Race, you will know that my brother was killed in a drug deal that went bad. He's a big-time drug dealer in Brooklyn, New York. He was killed with his 2 best friends. They weren't trying to kill his friends, they were trying to kill him. They just happened to be hanging. Be careful, man. So, I had to get out of it. So as soon as I was able, Stan, I packed up what little I had, got on a Greyhound bus, took it to Cleveland, Ohio, where I had a sister who took me in, and I didn't even report back to my family where I was for 5 years, because I didn't want them to know where I was until I got my own life together. And when I got my own life together, I went back and I saved 2 of them. There are people that will come into your life, brothers and sisters, and I don't know who I'm talking to in this audience here this morning, but there may be 1 or 2 people in this audience. Maybe the only reason God made sure that you were here this morning is to hear this message. There will be people that will come into your life. They may already be there. You simply must bless and release. I wrote about that in a book that I just finished called Click and Truth to Building an Extraordinary Relationship. Bless and release. Now, when God wants to get into your life, brothers and sisters, God will send you a person. When the devil wants to get into your life, the devil will send you a person. Your task in life, in case no one has told you, is to determine which one is which and who was sent by whom. You see, our enemies have been anointed to have us do those things that we would never consider doing. If you are doing something, spending all your money recklessly, not saving, not understanding the need to be a financially illiterate people, then you are being persuaded by the enemy. This is written in the 23rd Psalm. Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of thy enemies. Be careful who you associate. Save your money, and your money will save you. Remember what my daddy told me. If you only got a few dollars, you can only do a few things. I want you to do a special favor for me right now, and I want you to say with that Thurgood Marshall enthusiasm. I want you to say, this is not about me. Say that.
This is not about me.
This is about we.
This is about we.
It takes teamwork
It takes teamwork
to make the dream work.
to make the dream work.
We have the timber.
We have the timber.
Let us build.
Let us build.
God bless you.